What is going on? SHIPIT Nation YouTube station here. We're back. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button on your way in here. Obviously, you guys are watching this back on playback. This is not a live show there. So appreciate everyone. Drop a comment, drop a like, a subscribe if you're not already done. MLB, 9 days away. You see it, MVP up on the screen in the intro video. Most valuable partnership, SaberSim, SHIPIT Nation, the partnership, collaboration, all the best. We got you covered here. One-stop shop for all sports, including an optimizer, which was a huge announcement about a month ago there. $129 a month, as you see there up on the screen. I'll showcase it there. Not going to go into much more detail. Obviously, yesterday I went pretty in-depth on that. But if you guys are looking for a spot, looking for a home for MLB season, for the rest of the PGA season, we just came off the Players. Had an incredible week over here in the PGA streets from the Players. NHL in full swing. Like I said, MLB coming back next week, 9 days away for MLB. We'll have you covered with an optimizer. All premium content, everything you see there, $129 a month. If you want just the core package, that's $100 a month for an optimizer with ability to build up to 150 lineups via SaberSim. All of our projections, ownership content for 8 sports. If you want additional sports and the contest flashback feature, which I'll showcase at the end for a second here, $129 a month gets you access to that. SaberSim and SHIPIT Nation, shipitnation.com/join. to check out the packages up there. If you want to see how that kind of shakes up across the industry, obviously we know there's multiple other providers out there. We're not saying we're the best. We're not saying, hey, we're better than this, that, or the other, but the prices do talk for themselves. Maybe I'm a little biased. I think for the price, there's no other place like it in the industry. There's no other place that you need. We have literally everything you need to have success with DFS for the cheapest all-in rate in the industry there. So pay less for content and tools, play more in DFS contests. That's the motto. That's the slogan there. Let's go ahead and add the Stone, another premium tool over here at SHIPIT Nation. We have it for all sports, as you can see here, including Showdown, PGA. We have MLB coming back, like I said, the Stone. We have slate plan projections, everything you need for all sports here. But tonight, fun slate on tap, 9 games. I think ownership is going to be condensed for the most part around one spot in particular, which we'll talk about here. But this first game on the docket here, I actually like quite a bit. I like this spot a lot here for Ottawa. I'm liking that early ownership projections don't show Ottawa to be getting a lot of ownership here. I think this is a severe mismatch here, personally. I think Montembeault, who has fared pretty good in his career, especially this year against the Senators. I think that comes to an end here. I like Ottawa a ton. Dylan Cousins with Bathbaum here and Perron. That second line I like quite a bit for Ottawa. The line one with Timmy Stu, Brady, and Giroux, also a great option. So you got 6 really good skaters there. And then this third line with Pinto, Reedley, Grieg, and Amdio here. Don't sleep on them. I know my dad played them the other week or last week when the Ottawa team in general is pretty chalky and all the scoring came from that third line. They're a very good line in general. So Ottawa has 3 really good solid lines that you can play from DFS perspectives. Line 2 is my favorite. Then line 1, line 3 is third for me. Sanderson, Shabbat, Zub, all good options in terms of defense. On the Montreal side, Linus Ullmark, I think, is a good goalie option here. He's been pretty solid, so I don't love Montreal here, but Montreal's been playing pretty good hockey as of late. Actually, Montreal line 1 with Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slafkovsky does lead the entire NHL over the last 3 games in terms of unblocked shot attempts for on net, sitting at 38. That's 4 above Carolina. They also have 6 goals over that stretch of 3 games, so they're red scorching hot right now. I think they're fine options. Slafkovsky is probably my favorite option at 5,600 here. But Caulfield, 6,200, Slafkovsky, 56, and Suzuki at 58. All cheap price points there. If playing Montreal, I would just stick with that top line the way they're playing right now. I think they're fine options. And then you got a good D-man down here in Lane Hudson at 4,400. So good game to kick us off here. Definitely prefer the Ottawa side much more. Ottawa's probably my second favorite team on this slate, or third favorite team, excuse me, behind the teams that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. So really good game. Like it a ton. Next game on the slate here, Flames and the Rangers. I really like the spot here for the Rangers. I think the Rangers, since the trade deadline, since getting acquisition pieces like JT Miller coming over, they're playing pretty good hockey right now as well. Flames, Vladar is going to be in net. I don't like Vladar very much. He's got a sub 90% save percentage here. So it is a pretty good spot here for the Rangers at home. I know they haven't been a scoring machine as of late over the last 10 games or so, but they do for some positive goal regression, looking at the expected goals category and metrics wise. And the Flames penalty kill sits about 73% here. So the Rangers power play guys I like quite a bit here with JT Miller, Panarin, Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, and then Adam Fox. Those are kind of my 5 favorite guys there. You can definitely still play a Vincent Trocheck. He's still fine. Alexis Lafreniere is still fine as well. But really good spot for the Rangers. I like them quite a bit here, especially with Vladar in net. Dustin Wolf's not going to go on the back-to-back here. So with the Flames, back-to-back and travel, I like the spot quite a bit here for the Rangers. Shesterkin, one of the great spend-up goalie options on the slate, but at 32% plus ownership on a 9-game slate. Think you could look elsewhere. I like some cheaper goalies here tonight for sure, but Shesterkin, if spending up, definitely a good goalie option. On the Flame side, Kadri's still a fair price. You can definitely play him. You can definitely play Huberdeau. Those two are fine. But if playing anyone, I think going to the second line with Morgan Frost, Coronado, and Blake Coleman is where I would go. Not a spot I'm really looking to get to here tonight, though, against the Rangers. I think the Rangers win this game outright. And I think this game is pretty lopsided here in the Rangers aspect. So do like the Rangers quite a bit here tonight for sure. They definitely cracked my top 5 on this slate. Next game on the docket here, the Islanders and the Penguins here. You see it up on the screen. Jari, I believe, is 5-0 or 4-0 since getting sent down to the AHL. He wasn't right to start the year, but over the last 4, I think he's 4-0, and he's got one of the best goal against averages in the league over that stretch of games there. So since, like I said, Jari, he beat Minnesota in Minnesota. He beat Vegas. He beat St. Louis, and he beat Jersey. I think Tristan Jari is a pretty solid play in that mid-tier at 7,500. I think much more people are going to go to the other side of the ice in this game in particular with Igor Shesterkin, if playing anyone. I think they're both fine, but I really like the Pens here. Pens are probably my second favorite stack on the night. This is a good matchup for them. Looking at the expected goals numbers here for Islanders, they're dead last in the league, sitting about 3.7. Almost 4 goals against on average expected. They allow the 3rd most shots on net as well on the away ice here, and their penalty kill is sitting about 75% as well. So I think this is a pretty good spot here for the Pens. They allow a lot of high danger chances to the Islanders. So give me Sidney Crosby here. Give me Brian Russ, Raquel. I like those guys a lot. Malkin, Tomasino, and Heenan is fine, but I do have a little sneaky here. Blake Lizotte, Noah Akari, and Dewar. I really like Akari and Dewar. Little mini stack there. You get it for $5,100. Nobody's going to play it. And Akari has smashed the Islanders in his past. He's playing really good hockey. Same thing with Dewar. And it's basically stone minimum. I mean, you're going to only see about probably anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes of ice time between those guys. But at stone minimum price points with the new dynamic pricing, I really like that line 3 a lot here for Pittsburgh in a plus matchup. They're going to have the depth matchups of the Islanders here, and no one's going to play them. They're playing good hockey right now as well. So I like that quite a bit. But line 1 for Pittsburgh's top 4 in the league in unblocked shot attempts 4 over the last 3 games. So Crosby, Russ, Raquel, really good options there. I like them a ton. Matt Grzelcyk at 3K flat on that top power play, really good option as well. And I like this spot quite a bit for the Pens. On the Islanders side, Islanders are full fade for me outside of the defense. Noah Dobson, Pilic, Polak, D'Angelo, all good options here. Defense versus the Pens has been a spot all season long. Pens just lead points to opposing D-men. So I do like the spot for the Islanders defense guys. Don't really like it too much for The forwards, especially at this ownership, like I said, Tristan Jarry has been great since getting sent down to the AHL and coming back. Next game on the slate here, Red Wings and the Caps. I like this spot here quite a bit for the Caps. The Protas, McMichael, and the Pierre-Luc Dubois line is my preferred line. They've been really good. They've been top 10 in the league over the last 3 games in terms of unblocked shot attempts for. Have 2 goals to show for it, so I think more goals are coming. So line 2 for me, for Washington, is my preferred. With, like I said, McMichael, Protas, and Pierre-Luc Dubois. You get a nice price point on them. You can definitely play Tom Wilson, Ovechkin, and Strome. But like I said, I actually prefer playing Pierre-Luc Dubois over Strome. So if you're going Ovechkin, Wilson, I think going like a Pierre-Luc Dubois, Ovechkin, Wilson, and then pick one of McMichael or Protas, probably McMichael personally. But Protas has been playing really good. You get 2 guys on line 2 and then still get 3 guys on that top power play. Double ice correlation there. You just improve your ice time that your skaters are out there on the ice when you have guys from 2 different lines. So like that quite a bit. Caps, Chychrun, Carlson, both good options in terms of defense. And then Martin Favre here, 3,100 is a value guy. Really good option there as well. On the Red Wings side, pretty much a full fade for me here. I'm not going to really go and play anyone against Washington when they're at home. They're a really good team. Defensively, Logan Thompson's a good goalie. So no Red Wings here for me. They're a cross-up spot for me here tonight. Next game on the slate here, Preds and the Blues. This is an interesting game here. It's tough for me to get a read on this one. This game could shoot out here. It is only 5.5 total. The Blues, I definitely like more than the Preds here. I'm just looking at it. Binnington, I think at 7,600 in that mid-tier is definitely a fine option here. Not really a spot that I'm signing up. It's Forsberg Tuesday. I get it. I'm not spending 8,200 for Forsberg here. So overall, this game, if I went to anyone, like I said, it'd be the Blues. And mainly Blues line 2 here with Braden Shen, Kyrou, and Holloway. That line is playing really good hockey right now. It's a plus matchup here. Preds can definitely get leaky. Saros has been known to absolutely go. Just be horrendous, right? I think last time these 2 teams played as well, Saros got lit up by the Blues here. Blues scored 7 goals on Saros, or 7 goals on the Preds last time, 5 on Saros. Saros had 15 shots that he saw, and he gave up 5 goals and 15 shots there. So Blues line 2 for me, I definitely like quite a bit. Braden Shen, Holloway, Kyrou are my preferred options there. And then Cam Fowler at 4K, still too cheap. I don't know what DraftKings is doing with him. Justin Falk at 4.8, also a really good option there. So 2 really good D-man option in that mid-tier for the Blues. Definitely love Fowler a ton, like I said. Robert Thomas, Buchnevich, Jake Neighbors are fine too as well, but I definitely put St. Louis 2 ahead of them. On the Preds side, not really getting to any of these Preds, to be honest here. I think Binnington is fine. Looking at the numbers wise, St. Louis on the road over the last 10, 3rd best in the league in expected goals against, and 2nd best in the league in shot attempts allowed on net. They don't allow a ton of high danger chances. They're 4th best in the league there. They don't allow a ton of penalties. So I think the Blues win this game, and my DFS interest is definitely on the Blues side here tonight. Takes us to the next game on the slate. Grab a drink of water here. It's the Ducks. It's the Stars. This is the chalk spot. I don't agree with these ownerships right now. I mean, it could stay true. It is a 9-game slate. Ownership tends to spread out a little bit. And not only that, the Stars do have so much scoring coming from so many different lines that it's hard to pinpoint. But Stars minus 350 favorite here at home against the Ducks. I mean, the only way this goes south, I know Shalhoub and I were talking out there. I know he's going big tonight. He had a big night last night. Congrats to Shalhoub out there. And everybody else in the Discord that's been sticking with me all year for NHL. I know it's a tough sport to kind of get into and learn, but I'm always available in the Discord. I'm no expert by any means. We got really, really intelligent minds in the Discord for sure. So shout out to the crew I got over there at the SHIPIT Nation community with me in the Discord. But like I said, like him and I were talking, I mean, it's looks like a can't miss spot, right, for Dallas on paper. The only hesitation I do have is, like I said, Lucas Dosto, I do think is a really good goalie option, or not goalie option, but a really good goalie in general. He might be outmatched here. Looking at the metrics here, I mean, Dallas Wyatt Johnston, Rupe Hintz, Duchene, Rantanen, Robertson, Mikael Granlund, Jamie Benn. I mean, they're just so deep. They have so much scoring. I like all of those guys, those wings. I probably lean the power play guys with Johnston, Hintz, Mikko Rantanen, Robertson, and Tomas Harley as my preferred options there, just looking at it. Looking at the power play matchup, Ducks sitting at 72% penalty kill, about league average in terms of penalties allowed. So it is a pretty good power play opportunity here. So that's where I would probably go if I'm going to the Stars, is those top power play guys. Gets you a little bit cross ice correlation as well, right? Because you get Wyatt Johnston's on third line, Rupe Hintz is on top line. Obviously, Rantanen and Robertson are also on top line, so you get the fully line one stack there, and you get some line three action as well if you do add in a Wyatt Johnston. So that's probably my preferred way to go. Just use double center for Dallas and stack up that power play if getting to them. But is a really good spot. I expect this ownership to come up throughout the day for sure. Lyubushkin here, one of my favorites. He always hits projections wise, 3,100. Still like him on that top line. Don't mind it. And then Cody Ceci as well, and Esa Lindell are two other stars that you can look at playing. On the Duck side, full fade for me. Lucas Doso is a hedge, GPP option in tournaments. Definitely don't exclude him from your pool in MME, even in 20 max, because he does have the upside. And Dallas, I do expect to be pretty chalky on the slate. So don't mind him in tournaments by any means. But that's going to take us to the last couple of games of the slate, which are good ones. We're going to start with the Kraken and the Blackhawks here. Kraken, Stevenson, Eberle, and Tolvainen are fifth in the entire NHL right now in unblocked shot attempts for on net. Now they go in to face the Blackhawks. I would love it, but like I said, since Spencer Knight's come over for the Blackhawks, I expect this team to kind of turn around a little bit defensively here. I know their metrics don't show it right now. They're bright green to attack against when they're on home ice, but Spencer Knight, not going to get really any ownership here tonight. It is the Kraken. They're not a powerhouse team by any means. I think Spencer Knight in tournaments is definitely a really good option at 7K. But in other lineups, I do think you can definitely play some of these Kraken. I prefer that second line with Eberle, Tolvainen, and Chandler Stevenson. That's my preferred options. I like that the ownership's going to that top line with Kakko, Schwartz, and Matty B. I'll easily just pivot to that second line. I think both are fine. Do prefer that second line for sure. On the Knights, or on the Blackhawk side, on the Knights, I do think Spencer Knight is a really good option. Ethan Del Mastro at stone minimum. RTM, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his last name here, but 3,100 top line, top power play. Really, really, really good value option. He's been playing great hockey as of late too. So I like him quite a bit. Bedard, Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Donato. I probably would just stick to the top power play guys here. Joey Decord's a good goalie option, so I don't love playing these Blackhawks. I'm not going to play Joey Decord at 8-4. I just don't think there's a need to play him. And Kraken have been good defensively, so probably not a really good spot to pick up any of these Blackhawks. But I do like Vlasic. I do like Artem here as well. I'm going to call him AL, right? That's how you don't mispronounce his name there. So 3,100, good option. And then one other guy I did forget on the Kraken side, Brandon Montour. He can pair him up with that second line and get you get you a three-man power play stack as well with Eberle, Stevenson, and Montour. Add in Tolvainen at 4-3. You got a four-man stack there. That is definitely nice. So I like Brandon Montour quite a bit at 5,700 as well. Takes us to the second last game on the slate here. Utah and Edmonton. This is one of my favorite spots here. I like Edmonton a lot here tonight. Edmonton's looking pretty good. Utah has been pretty leaky. Edmonton's second best team on home ice over the last 10 home games in terms of expected goals for. I like this spot quite a bit for them. Leon, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Corey Perry is a good value at 3,300, getting top power play work. He's fine. And then Bouchard is a really good option. I'm sticking to those main top power play guys personally. I know Utah's penalty kill is really good, but you do get cross ice correlation. Perry's on line 2, Draisaitl's on line 2, McDavid's line 1, Bouchard is line 1. So you get 4 guys that are fully correlated there at power play, and 2 guys from each line there. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Edmonton, but I do think Edmonton's in a good spot here tonight. I don't think many people are going to play them. Bouchard's going to get some ownership, but I really think ownership gets held in check on McDavid and Draisaitl. If people are picking between the two, I think they just side with McDavid because it's only a $300 price increase. Or I think both are fine. Nugent Hopkins, like I said, in that mid-tier is fine. Zach Hyman is, I still believe he's on IR or still injured, so that does hurt their offensive scoring a little bit, but that's where you get value guys like Corey Perry slotting in at 3,300. He's good. Henrique's a cheap guy. Victor Arvidsson hasn't been great this year, but he's cheap. Jeff Skinner hasn't been great this year, but he's cheap as well. So I like Edmonton here at home against Utah. It's expected goals metric and taking a chance. Utah actually, over the last 10 road games, have given up over 3.5 goals per game on average as well. Vemelka has been good, I think, in tournaments. If you want to leverage any of the Edmonton side, if you just don't like Edmonton because they've done you wrong lately, don't mind a 7,100 veggie. Much prefer Spencer Knight at home for sure for $100 cheaper. But I think Vemelka is definitely fine. He's a good goalie, 91% save percentage, 2.45 goal against average. So I think he's definitely good. On the Utah side, Skinner by any means isn't crazy. He's got a sub 90% save percentage, right? So going to some of the Utah side, I think Barrett Hayton, Gunther, and Logan Cooley would be the guys I'd go to. That second line there, that's been the better line for Utah as well, in my opinion. So don't hate that, but not really a spot that I'm too high on. There's many other spots that I'm definitely higher on than Utah, but don't hate it in tournaments and MME sets for sure. Takes me to the last game on the slate. I think I'm going to be pretty contrarian here. I think Jets are going to pick up some ownership for sure. Everyone's going to look at the game logs and see what the Jets did last time to this Vancouver team. But Vancouver has been playing good at home ice. Talked to Shalhoub in Discord as well on this one. They're seventh best on home ice over the last 10 games in actual goals against, sitting right around 2. Expected goals, they're top 3 in the league, sitting around 2.4. They allow the 5th least shots on net per game. They have the 7th best penalty kill, and they're the best team in allowing high danger chances as well in the league. So it's not a spot that I'm really going to go to these Jets personally. I'm going to be underweight. I get it. The Jets have tons of firepower. They are a really, really good team in general. They have 2 lines in the top 10 in terms of unblocked shot attempts for on ice. Ehlers, Nemestikov, Perfetti would be the options that I would play if I went to the Jets. The second line, Ehlers, Perfetti, and Nemestikov. Looking at the unblocked shot attempts for on net, they have 27 over the last 3 games and only 1 goal to show for it. So you could say there's some regression coming there. Lankinen has been really good. I think in tournaments, Kevin Lankinen at 7,300 is definitely an option that I can look at and play. He's going to see volume, despite the fact that Vancouver just limits shot attempts for. But Winnipeg on the road, sitting top 10 in expected or in shot attempts for on that. So he's going to see volume. I think he can stop the shots. I think Vancouver can definitely win this game. I know it's a stretch. I know it's a late night hammer game, but not a game that I really have too much interest from a DFS perspective. I think both goalie options are good. You can definitely play some of these value guys. Dylan Sandberg, 4,500, has been playing out of his mind. So it's all the line 2 guys for me. Nemestikov, Ehlers, Perfetti, and Sandberg. Those are kind of the guys I'm looking at there. DeMello's fine at 3,500 as well. And then on the Vancouver side, Derek Forbort at 2,700, want to bring him up, and Marcus Pettersson, 2 value guys there that play a bunch and block a bunch of shots to get you that shot block bonus there on DraftKings, which is huge. That's all 9 games. Talk through it. Talk through the stacks that I'm looking at. Let me go ahead and pull SaberSim up here and kind of walk through some of what the baseline builds. So I just ran this off of, let me go back to projections here and go to players. So I ran this off of a weighted projection here. So I weighted our projections and SaberSim's projections. I think I did like a 60-40 split to get somewhat of different projections. As you can see here, right, the average projection, 37 there. So Saber weighted is the projection I did, and then I did an average ownership there. And just wanted to run a baseline build, 150 teams, and kind of look who was popping. No surprise by any means, Dallas and Ottawa, the 2 main teams that are popping. Interesting to see Chicago up here, but I get it. Against Seattle, I think Seattle's going to get the ownership for sure. Chicago is at home. So Chicago's up there, Calgary, Winnipeg, Nashville. So some teams that when I scroll down here that aren't really hitting teams. Number one, the Rangers. I like that quite a bit. Talked about liking the Rangers a lot here on home ice, so I think they get slept on. St. Louis line 2, I talked about quite a bit. They're not getting pushed in builds. Out of 150 teams, they only hit one lineup. So I like the Rangers and the Blues quite a bit for sure. Those are 2 spots, and then Pittsburgh as well, and Edmonton, 2 other of my favorite stacks, top 5 that are just not hitting optimizer builds. 10 lineups out of 150, 9 lineups out of 150. So I kind of do this to just get an outlook of what looks like the slate's going to do and what kind of the slate shows you at hand. Gives you an idea of what others are going to do kind of in tournaments here. When I go ahead and sort this by contest sims and just to get an idea in terms of the flagship tournament, right? The lotto tournament, if you will, on DraftKings. And when I sort these lineups by win rate, let's kind of see what this does to our team stacks wise here once it processes, just to give you an idea of what gives you the best chance, so to speak, to win this tournament, if you will. Obviously, this is early afternoon that I'm running this, but you can see it drops down. Dallas some, Winnipeg comes up for sure. I mean, so it's more of the same, but it's still St. Louis I like a lot. Rangers I still like a lot. Edmonton, Pittsburgh I still like a lot. They're not showing up as much here. So those are some of the teams that I like from going through the slate breakdown and the slate plan. Take it over to SaberSim and kind of run teams there, and you can kind of get an idea. If I go ahead and change this to 4 uniques here, just to give me 4 different 4-man stacks for each individual lineup here. You'll see what this kind of does. Obviously, it kind of changes the exposures over here in teams. Washington has come up. Calgary's gone down. Nashville, Winnipeg, Chicago's come up higher now. We get a little bit more Edmonton, as you can see here. But Pittsburgh still doesn't really come up. Rangers still don't really come up. St. Louis really don't come up. So those are 3 teams in particular there that I like quite a bit. And then looking at it, Seattle, also down the board. Talked about liking Seattle line 2 a little bit here. So this is just some of the stuff that I do when I'm looking at optimizer and how I use an optimizer, even a hand build. I'll go through it here, and once I upload my contest, I can go ahead and rank these and run sims based on the individual contest, sort through, kind of look at the lineup. Maybe I see this lineup down here. Oh, I really like that. Go ahead and hit this lock button. That'll make sure it's guaranteed to hit your lineup set. So if you're running a 20 max, you really scroll through one of these, it really stands out to you, and you want to make some additional changes and things. You hit this lock button, it guarantees you that this lineup will make your 20 lineup set. Even if you really rebuild lineups there, you can favorite it. So if you hit favorite, it'll show up here in the favorites where you can just easily click on it and see your favorite lineups. Really, really good optimizer, really good. Obviously, all sports are covered here. So that's some of the things that I do when using SaberSim here. I use SaberSim even to build my 1 to 2, 3 max teams every single night, just to see what the optimizer is kind of doing. You can go ahead and stack exposure here. You can uncheck stacks. You can set min exposures right on the stacks. On team stacks, I use min max exposures quite a bit. So right here is a prime example. I know I want more Edmonton. Let's say I want 20% Edmonton stacks. I'm just going to throw 20% Edmonton there. Pittsburgh. I know they're not getting put in teams real often, right? As it sits right now, I want to make sure I have at least 15%, right? Pittsburgh stats. Same thing in the Rangers. And then you're going to see over here, once I hit apply, automatically, because it has a pool of lineups that it already built based on the simulations, it's automatically going to update your lineups over here on the right based on this. So that's some of the stuff I do. That's a good overview of the slate here tonight. 9 games should be a fun one. Ownership's going to be interesting to kind of watch throughout the day, but definitely expect early looks to that Ottawa and Dallas are going to kind of be the chalk. That's what SaberSim was showing me and kind of painting the picture there. So be careful pairing those 2 teams together. There's always ways to get different in NHL. Talk about it all the time. Ownership's just one piece of the puzzle, right? One piece of the pie there. So don't make it be the end all be all. If you want access to the SaberSim, you want access to the show, the stone, which I already showed earlier. It's back up here on the screen, as you can see. Head over to SHIPITNation.com. Again, SaberSim package, all access plus the starter pack for SaberSim gives you the access to build up to 150 lineups. You get the contest fleet flashbacks and you get the opportunity to have Saber Sims projections, so you can run the average like I showed you, like I do, between our set and their set. Just gives you a little bit more of a different approach, and just another set of projections. Never can go wrong. You can aggregate them, etc. automatically. $129 a month. ShipItNation.com/join now. That's going to do it, though, for this quick hit. Appreciate everyone watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. For myself, Nadesify. Until next time, let's ship it.